Hello everyone. Today we are going to read something very shortly about the figure of speech alliteration. I am going to give you a very brief introduction of this figure of speech alliteration, which is generally called the repetition of speech sounds in the beginning of words. The term is usually applied to consonants. It is usually applied, not always. Usually it is applied to consonants. The beginning words are usually repeated in a consonant, and this is called alliteration. When a consonant is when a consonant is repeated, this is called consonance. This is the, you can say, subtitle of alliteration. There are two kinds of alliterations. One is called consonants, the other one is called assonance, which we are going to see later. So first we will talk about the consonants. It means where the consonant word is repeated, and especially in the beginning of a word. For example, these words, live, love. Here the sound of L is repeated in the beginning of these words. And if it is not in the beginning, it is repeated in the stressed syllable of two words. It means the speech sound should be repeated more than once. For example, this word, lean and alone. Here also, lean is in the beginning. In alone, L is not in the beginning, but here it is an stressed syllable. So, this is also an example of alliteration. Then we can see the example in these words, Peter and pattern. So, this was the example of consonants. But as I told you earlier, there are assonances also, which are also alliterations. In assonance, some stressed vowel is repeated, and when vowel sound is repeated, this is called assonance. And in these lines, which are the lines of Keats's poem Ode on a Grecian Urn, we can see very easily that the long sound of I, only the long sound of I is repeated, and this is an example of alliteration. Alliteration, and again assonance, an example of assonance, because I is a vowel, it is a vowel and it is repeated in these words. Thou still unravished bride of quietness. I have underlined these sounds for you. Thou foster child of silence and slow time. So this was an example of consonants, which is alliteration. This is an example of assonance, which is again example of alliteration. In Old English, alliteration was a device of the organization of a verse line, and in later, assonance also was used in Old English, but here the line was divided into two parts, the first half and the later half. In the first half, the assonance sound can match with the later second half of the line where some vowel is repeated. For example, in Piers Plowman, we can see the example. In a summer season, the line is divided and there is a pause between the line. A single line is divided into two parts and there is alliteration in this sound. And in the later part, what soft was the sun. Again, these sounds match with these sounds. And remember again, we do not call a word repetition or alliteration if the spelling is starting with the same consonant or vowel. Only the speech sound is important in alliteration. we have to concentrate only on the speech sound. So this was about the old English, but in the later English, in old English it was a device of organizing a verse line, and in later English it was used for multiple purposes. For example, to emphasize some word, to give a special tone to the poetry, or for some special reasons. So this was a very brief introduction about alliteration. In the next class we will talk about another figure of speech.